All right, I've got one more thing that occurred to me. Yesterday when I made the video, I had difficulty keeping the station at the point where it was, when I would change the channel using this knob, after a few seconds, it would go back to the initial station that I had switched from. So, okay, let's say that we're at 26 right now, channel 26. And then I use the little knob to switch to, let's say, channel 30. Okay, after a few seconds it goes back to 26. And what occurred to me last night as I was laying in bed was that I was forgetting to hit the little knob. So you see how it went back to 26? Well, now what occurred to me last night was, let's say I go to 30 and I push this little knob. Now it's going to stay on 30 until I do something to change that channel. So just like you turn the radio on and off by hitting this button, if you were to choose a channel and then hit this button, it will stay on that channel until you do something to change away from that channel. Just wanted to point that out. Thanks. All right, for this video, I plan to show how I programmed my SiriusXM radio in the 2014 Kia Soul, which I got about just under 3 months ago. And the introductory offer, the introductory period where I get to listen to the XM for free, is about to expire in about 2 days, 3 days, 2 or 3 days. And about a week ago, I took the time to program the radio. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show what I found to be a very efficient way to program the radio. So first thing you have to do is you have to make sure that and I would recommend doing this with the car off, not while you're trying to drive. First thing you need to do is take the key and put the key into the accessory mode. And that, when it's in the accessory mode, the radio will light up for you. Let's see if I can zoom in on the radio. Maybe it'll get rid of some of that brightness. I think you can see the radio fairly clearly. I'm going to be doing most of my work with this button right here, so that's why I'm sitting in the passenger seat instead of the driver's seat. And I would expect it to take probably less than an hour to program, to find all the stations that are to find at least half a dozen stations for you that you're going to like. I'd say the whole process should take less than an hour. Now, here's a list of the stations that I found work well for me. You get 3, at least with my radio, I got 3, let's see, how should I describe this? 3 sets of 6 buttons, so a total of 18 stations. And the stations that I found are my favorites are 7, 9, 16, 17, 26, and 32. And then these are okay, and then these are okay too. But for the most part, this is where I listen to them. And you can see that's categorized as Sat 1, Sat 2, and Sat 3. And let me explain what that is. If I go ahead and turn on the power and turn down the volume so that you can hear me talking, you can see right now it's set to Sat 3. So that means these 6 are the ones that I would be listening to if I push button 1 through 6. So if I push button 1, I'd be listening to channel 17. If I push button 2, I'd be listening to channel 135. But let's go over to Sat 1. So to get there, I'm going to hit this radio button a number of times to get me away from Sat 3 and into Sat 1. So the radio button, first we're listening to the FM. The next option after satellite is it cycles back to FM for you. And this is FM 1. Then it cycles to FM 2, which would, in other words, FM 1 gives you 6 buttons worth of memory. FM 2 gives you another 6 buttons worth of memory. Then AM gives you 6 buttons worth of memory. And now we're at Sat 1. Okay, so this is satellite. This is SiriusXM Satellite 1, the grouping 1 of your memory buttons, 1 through 6. So for me, button number 1 would represent station number 7. Button number 2 would represent station number 9. Button number 3, station number 16. So how did I choose these stations to memorize? Well, what I did is, let's say let's start at channel 2. Why did it go to 7? I don't know why it's changing to 7 all by itself. Okay, ask yourself, do you think you'd like hits number 1? And I would say, yeah, okay, probably I would like hits number 1. So I would write down channel 2 hits. Then I would switch over to channel 3. Do I think that I would like pop music? Venus is just the name of the channel. I guess I must have done this quick enough where it didn't have time enough to flip out of here, so I don't know how many seconds it gives you. But Usher, yeah, I'd probably like listening to Usher, so I'll go ahead and I'll write down number 3. 3 Venus. Channel 4 Pitbull. Pop, yeah, I'd probably like pop. I don't know why it says Pitbull, but so I'll write down 4 for Pitbull. 50s, no, I'm not likely to enjoy 50s music. So I'm going to switch away from 50s and just go on to 60s. Am I likely to like 60s music? Yeah, maybe. So I'll write down number 6 for 60s. And am I likely to like number 7? 70s on 7. Yes, so 70s. And am I likely to like 80s music, Talking Heads, Wild Wild Life? Yeah, I'd say I'm probably going to like that pop music, so I'll put down an 8. And 80s. Okay, so now I've got a list of 6 channels that I think I might enjoy listening to. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to enter those channels into my 6 presets. Just simply turning this dial left or right to get to the channels that it says. And it says channel 2 hits. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit this button until it beeps. Okay, so now channel number 1 has just been reprogrammed with, my memory setting number 1 has just now been reprogrammed with channel number 2. So now I'll take it over to channel 3. So I'm going to program my memory number 2 with channel number 3. Then I'm going to go to channel number 4 because I've got channel 4 written down as something I might like, and I'm going to put that in number 3 spot. Then the next one that I'm thinking that I would like is channel number 6. So I'm using this knob over here to choose channel number 6, and I'm going to put that into my 4th memory spot. Okay, then I'm going to go to number 7, channel 7, and I'm going to make that my 5th channel. And then I'm going to go to number 8, which is 80s music, and I'm going to put that in as my 6th channel. So what I just did there is I programmed these memory settings, all 6 of them, each with one channel that I think I might like. So now I'm going to sit here and I'm going to listen to some of each of these songs and put something like a like or dislike. Okay, and I'm gonna hit the button and I'm gonna listen to the music, and I'm gonna choose whether I put an X by like or a check mark by like or a check mark by dislike, given the music that I'm listening to. And I'm gonna do that for maybe 4 minutes, because each song is going to be about 2 or 3 minutes. 4 minutes will let you hear 1 or 2 songs on each of the channels. And if you find that one of your presets got 2 dislikes in a row, you probably know then that you don't want to use that channel. So you would cross it out, and then you can go on beyond 8. Okay, you can go on beyond 8 and start looking at channel 9 through, channels 9 through, let's say, 20, trying to find the channels that you like. But once you find the channels that you think you like, the way to get them into your memory is to simply hold on to that button until it beeps. Once it beeps, it's set in your memory. Okay, I think that's simple. I'll go ahead and upload this, and there's, I think, 220 channels roughly that I had on this. Maybe it was 219, but it took some good time for me to go through all the channels and come up with the ones that I like. Again, if you want to make it real easy on yourself, I don't think I have horrible taste in music. If you program it, just here, I'll go ahead and I'll reprogram my SAT1 the way that I used to have it, and you can watch that process. So in SAT1, in my first memory spot, I had channel 7. So in my first memory spot, I'm going to go ahead and push until it beeps with number 7. In my second memory spot, I had channel 9. So I'm turning my little knob to channel 9, and I'm hitting the second button. In my third memory spot, I had 16. So I'm going to set it to 16 and then hit button number 3 till it beeps. Channel 4, I had channel 17 memorized in spot number 4. Okay. And I had channel 26 memorized in spot number 5. And I had channel number 32 memorized in spot number 6. So now I'm right back to where I had started from. One key to not being frustrated with this, obviously, then, is when you are flipping between your memory resets, you only want to tap the button. In other words, let's say you're driving down the road and you decide, I don't like listening to Queen of Swords. I'd rather find something else to listen to. When you hit a different button, like button number 1, you just want to tap it very quickly. You don't want to hold it down long enough for it to beep, otherwise you can end up changing the memory setting. So let's say that you decide that you don't like listening to The Night Chicago Died. So you want to try this button instead. Again, it's just going to be a real quick tap. Okay? You didn't hear any beep because I didn't hold it down long enough for it to memorize. In other words, right now, if I was to hold number 5 down for a long period of time, for an extended period of time, channel 9 would get memorized into channel 5, or into memory spot number 5, which I'd prefer to have as number 26, channel number 26. So here, if I hit number 5, you'll see channel 26 comes up, but I only hit it quickly. Now let's say that I wanted to listen to channel 2, but I accidentally hold it down too long. See, now channel 26 just got memorized into channel 2. But that's easy to fix because I wrote down that I'd prefer to have channel 9 in my memory setting number 2. So I'm simply going to turn my knob back to channel 9, and I'm going to, back to channel 9, and I'll go ahead and hit 2 long enough for it to memorize. That's it. I think that's a pretty good, easy way to go through the channels that are on your SiriusXM, or survey the channels that SiriusXM offers you, and choose between which ones you want to actually memorize and which ones you don't really want to listen to. That's it. Have a good day. Bye. All right, I've got one more thing that occurred to me. Yesterday when I made the video, I had difficulty keeping the station at the point where it was, when I would change the channel using this knob, after a few seconds it would go back to the initial station that I had switched from. So, okay, let's say that we're at 26 right now, channel 26. And then I use the little knob to switch to, let's say, channel 30. Okay, after a few seconds it goes back to 26. And what occurred to me last night as I was laying in bed was that I was forgetting to hit the little knob. So you see how it went back to 26? Well, now what occurred to me last night was, let's say I go to 30 and I push this little knob. Now it's going to stay on 30 until I do something to change that channel. So just like you turn the radio on and off by hitting this button, if you were to choose a channel and then hit this button, it will stay on that channel until you do something to change away from that channel. Just wanted to point that out. Thanks. Bye. Have a good day.